First one say all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Hashem, Shai, Hashem, Kadash, Davan to others, plus and teach great vessel, family, and shoot, and say Shalom to the whole collective Israel. And I'm gonna center this on the term digital God, and just out of curiosity, I'm gonna look that term up really quick. Well, it's not gonna necessarily be focused on the term itself, but this digital God that so-called white man is wanting to create. And ultimately, it says here, digital God is a term used to describe the impact of digital technology on spirituality and how it may shape our understanding of the divine. In other words, to simplify that, you people through technology are going to be worshiping the so-called white man. Because you even have today, you have a lot of people that look at the white man as a quintessence, as a pinnacle of excellence because of the inventions that the Lord has given them, because of his machinations, his creations. So people, the world are really, and that's going to be fully solidified with the MOTV. And once again, you have the fourth industrial revolution, which is emerging of man with machine. They're going to do that. This nigga wants to do this shit. And this right here is just a poster boy. He's a fathead. It's one of the brothers mentioned. He's just a poster boy for this shit. And I think this nigga's on the spectrum too. Let me see. Yeah, this nigga has Asperger's. He has autism. Your leaders are fucking retarded. But I mean, it ain't that difficult to see there's something going on. But your leaders are a bunch of old fucks, retards, and perverts. Imagine that. The leaders of this current world are perverts, retards, and old crusty fucks. Ask the late queen bitch. She was a dried up hoe. But yeah, like what and why is that term digital God used? Because when you think of God, you think of what? You think of, having dominion, having power, being worshipped. And that's what the so-called white man wants. He wants to be worshipped. He wants to be looked at as God. Well, he wants to be God. But and even when one of the brothers was going into a sit down last night, was how these sci-fi things that a lot of you people see in like these movies and these shows are real. For example, time travel. That's something that they want to do. And to the average citizen, to the average nigga, that's not going to make any type of sense. Like, why would they want to do that? That's impossible. How could they do that? But he has the resources and the money to research this shit, so he wants to do it. Anything for more power. Anything to get his way. That's how it works. That's how kings think. How can they forward their empire? What's the next step to take to solidify my reign and my rule? That's how kings think. And once again, why is that term digital God specifically being used? What does he mean by that? And you got to read between the lines of what these niggas are saying. It's Isaiah 14 and 13. For thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of God. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation on the sides of the north. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. And even when you go into let's say you take the average person and you give them knowledge, you give them wealth, you give them resources. They're going to get a big head, and you get enough people following them. Even with celebrities are a prime example, like these fucking social media influencer niggas. They think they're special. They think they're different. Some of them have fucking God complexes and shit like that. They call themselves gods, goddesses, kings, and queens. Why? Because of their following. Now, imagine a nigga who has that on a worldly scale. You can only imagine a nigga's ego. He would want to be looked at as a god because essentially the things that he can do are God-like in the sense that, for example, he throws enough money at somebody and they start jumping and then they ask how long you want them to jump. You know, first they start jumping, then they ask how long you want them to jump. See, the average person, if you can walk, you can walk out, you can walk out the door and throw $1,000 at the average person. You know, tell them to run down the street butt ass naked. No fucking do it. You know, if you got the money to throw away, like these people, like once again, this nigga, he wants to be worshipped. I'm just saying it quite a bit, but yeah, the guy Aaron Russo said that the Rothschilds are the financial equivalent of gods, meaning that they throw money at whatever they want, whoever they want. The problem disappears, and they get the things that they want. That's godlike power. You know, like I forgot the term. What was it? I think the term was omnipotent, but having sway over all things. And once again, that's godlike power. He's not God, but it's godlike in the sense that you want something to happen and it happens, no questions asked. And when you go into the MOTV system, that thing is going to be set up in such a way that if you disobey or you have any type of this, and your leaders have already told you that they don't want any. There was some nigger bitch. She was, I think she was in the House of Representatives or the Senate. She was in one of the damn higher positions of government that tossed out the idea of getting rid of the First Amendment. And she was a nigger woman. She was a black bitch. And she proposed the idea of getting rid of your freedom your freedom of speech, which you don't have freedom of speech technically. But she proposed the idea of abolishing that amendment. And these are what your leaders are fucking talking about. How they can oppress you fuckers and get to a higher position of power. They're not trying to make things better for you people. But that, like in a sense, once again, godlike power. Being able to wave your hand and something whatever you want to happen happens. But that's what I say it's like in a sense, because it's not like they can wave their hand. It's not like they have the technology to reverse aging. They have some, godlike power in a sense. They can do certain things, but they're most certainly experimenting and trying to do things like reverse aging or, gain eternal life. Because once again, they have the resources to do this shit. So why wouldn't they? And when you think of that term God, you think of worshiping, bowing down. Revelation 13:13. And he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men. It's specifically talking about when he dropped those 2 bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki and melted them niggas into the damn wall, and melted their shadows into the wall. But it says he doeth great wonders. So that was a thing that people, the world marveled at. That was a wonder. What else? What this whole the RFID chip, being able to swipe your hand. The advancement of technology in such a short span of time. Fucking robots. Bots. Androids. Artificial intelligence. Being able to speak to your phone and tell it, hey, pull up a map of this, and it does it. Being able to make money from, like what? Instead of sitting, instead of going out, bundling up, going out to the world, being able to sit down and make money from the comfort of your own home. That's a wonderful thing. That's a wonder. Because for most people, it wasn't like that in the ancient world. You had to go out. You had to get your hands dirty. You had to do shit. Now you got niggas that can sit down with a fucking microphone and talk about bullshit and make money. Make a living. Being able to, I just had a food delivery. The advancement of the creation of food. Not having to go out and skin an animal and wait a couple hours, for the whole, process of cooking the meat and cleaning it and and all that and whatnot. Fucking self-driving cars, flying carriages, and these people are all with it. But this is the beast system. Esau, the so-called white man's power structure. And deceiveth them that dwell on earth by means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image to the beast which had a wound by the sword and did live. And that image going into the lifestyle, something you could visibly see. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause many as will not worship the image of the beast should be killed. So once again, going to how he's going to set up his government, his rules, and his structure. If you don't bow down, if you don't take the RFI, and even now, if you don't consent to these laws, or if you're not politically correct, there's consequences for it. So essentially, you have to bow down to a so-called higher power in the white man, and many people do it willingly. They dedicate their lives to the white man. Especially our people, Saying to them, dwell on earth that they should make an image to the beast which had the wound by the sword and did live. That's referring to Rome. It went down and then it was revived during the Renaissance period. Roman culture and its lifestyle and the way that it does things, it was reborn in America. And he had power to give life. I already read that. Did I read that? Yep. Verse 16, he calls all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or name of the beast or the number of his name. And what's that mark that's going to signify, that's going to, and this mark is going into something that's going to connect you to that digital god, to this beast image. And what is that? What's the thing that's going to connect you to the so-called white man's system? It's the RFID chip. It's not sin. Whoever's saying to sin, you a fucking asshole. Because, it's impossible, because sin doesn't connect you to the white man's system. Now, our people have been sinning before the white man's system was established. But this mark is going to connect you to that system, to that beast. What is it? Simple process of elimination is RFID chip. And then no man might buy or sell save he had the mark or name of the beast or the number of his name. And once again, it's all going back in the so-called white man thinking himself to be a god and wanting to be worshipped. And you people you had a small example of that with the pandemic, right? Because Fauci made I don't know where's that nigga, by the way, but he admitted that he made up those rules on the fly. That's one. Numerous articles came out in rapid succession talking about the decreased efficacy of the jab. That's two. And also, all that shit, fucking all magically, because that's not how disease works. Here it is, a deadly fucking disease. Like, for example, let's say, HIV, AIDS, some shit like that, right? You can't have niggas, sharing needles with niggas who have fucking AIDS, and then they just don't fucking get it. That's not how, you got the whole herd immunity thing. It was all bullshit, and she admitted it. But during the pandemic, they put out an edict and the people obeyed without fucking question. That was a test. See, if you people can't see it, you're fucked. because once again, y'all don't get how kings think and how they operate. The Bible gives us insight into that. And simple, complete control and domination. That's ultimate goal of a king. To conquer and to dominate and to control. And to control. That's what they want. Obviously, the building up of their nation, but in order to do that, you have to what? Dominate others. Expanding your empire. That includes domination, conquering other lands, whether they be willing or unwilling. Forcing them into subjection. And that's what the system is going to do. But hope it made sense. Hope that finally all praises going on to Yahweh, Shema, Shabbat, Shabbat, the rest of us, possible teacher, great medicine, the one of truth, Shalom, to hope like Israel, instruction, but I'm great America.